Good morning, Facebook. This is what we've been waiting for all year, is some good old Southern dressing. And today we're going to do that for you. And I just want to tell you, here's your main things. You've got to have good cornbread. So, what I want to let you know is this is what I use. I use White Lily, buttermilk, self-rising, down there, self-rising cornmeal mix. That's what I use. I use this, and of course I use my buttermilk. Remember to shake it up good. And I use eggs. And so when you do your eggs now, I call this egg bread. And the reason is because when I make my cornbread, for dressing, I'm gonna use this and buttermilk and probably 4 or 5 eggs in it. So everything in my dressing is already done. So y'all, here we go. We're gonna make us some dressing today, and it's gonna be so good, y'all. You're gonna love it. Hey, I'm fixed to make the cornbread for the dressing. And I am putting in 2 cups of cornmeal, self-rising. Actually, when I make cornbread for dressing, I call it, I put my buttermilk in. I don't know how much, just so it gets good and wet. Actually, when I'm making dressing, I call this egg bread. I'm going to put 5 eggs in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Stir it up. Y'all, I preheated my oven to 400 degrees. I don't want to cook this fast. And I don't want to get it real brown. I want it just done, and that's all. And this is called egg bread. And this is going to be for our dressing that we're going to make. And I'll show you about the consistency that I want. And I don't want my skillet to be hot. I want it cold, and I have greased it extra good. Right here, I've greased it really good. A little bit more. All right, now that looks right. Let me show you how it looks. All right, that's my egg bread. And this is gonna be for my dressing for Thanksgiving. Okay. I greased my skillet with some solid Crisco, and it is cold. It's a cold skillet. I put this in. Use the back of my hand to get it all out. Okay, I'm gonna pop it in the oven. And cook it at 400 degrees till it's ready, and I will show y'all how it's gonna look in a little bit. Okay, egg bread for dressing. Okay, y'all, I peeked in the oven. Our cornbread for our dressing is ready. I'm gonna get it out. It's okay if it sticks. I don't want to get it too brown. All right, let's just try to pop it out. And it's not popping out. I probably did it with a something that I had fried something in. So let me get me a little something right here. It's okay if it sticks. And the reason is because I'm gonna crumble it all up anyway to go in my dressing. All right, there's a big old pan of bread. See, it's not very dark on the top, and that's what we want. We want it soft done, so our dressing will be nice and soft. We don't want a bunch of old black hard stuff in it. Okay, what I'm going to do now is put it in a pan. I'm going to let it cool for a minute or 2, and I'm going to crumble it all up. I'll let you see that later. I'm going to put it all in here, and then we're going to crumble it up. Good morning, babe. Come over here and say good morning to these folks.
Good morning, everyone.
Hey, well, that wasn't a good morning. Come around here where they can see you. There you go. Come here, Anna. Say good morning to everybody. We celebrate this. We're celebrating all this. This is Anna. That's my daughter-in-law. This is my oldest granddaughter. And they're all always in here trying to find something to eat. I'm telling you. But anyway, I'm gonna take this cornbread right here, and I am going to just let some of the steam out by cutting it into a few little pieces right here. She's over there finding her a biscuit, some syrup, some butter. They know where to come when they're hungry, I'm telling you. All right, see the steam coming off of it? All right, I'm just gonna let that sit there just a minute and crumble up until it's cool, because I sure can't. Come here, William, say hi to everybody this morning. And here's an old grandson coming through this morning. Hey, they're all hungry. You've already eaten though, haven't you, baby?
Yeah.
Yes, he ate some biscuits. Here's what they ate this morning. They had cheese grits. They ate all the sausage. And here's the little biscuits they had left over.
I love it.
I'm telling you, these children, they always hungry at Thanksgiving time. Bye. Y'all, I am crumbling this cornbread up. You know, a while ago I put it in this pan. And I said it has to be crumbled. Now, this is one of the most important things. You don't want to have something like that in it. You have got to really crumble it up very, very fine. And this is, it takes a while. So, ladies, what you need to do is give this to your husband while he's watching all those ball games on or Thanksgiving Day parade and what all they have. And you tell him to do it. This should be his job. This was my husband's job, George. So, but now it's not his job anymore. It's mine. So anyway, just make sure that you just crumble and crumble and crumble and don't have anything like that in it. And then I'll show you the next stage. When we get to that, I'll show you what to do next. But right now, I'm just in the crumbling stage. Hey, y'all, listen, we're still working on our dressing. And I cut up a little bit of stuff beforehand, but I want to show you how to do celery. I put a whole thing of celery, bunch of celery in my dressing. So I just cut off this bad part. If y'all need to come on up closer, that'll be good. And there's strings on your celery. So what I do is just barely get under there like that. And I pull. And you'll see these strings that just come off of there. Look at that. And you don't want those in your celery or any other dish that you're making. So it's real quick. You can do it with a carrot scraper if you prefer, but you know how I am with my knife. I like to have a good sharp knife going. So anyway, you do it like that. And then all you do then is just, here's the ones I've already done for you. I've got it in my pot. But anyway, you just go real thin like that through it. And you're gonna make you some strips. You don't want big hunks of celery in your dressing. But this gives a great flavor, and my family loves it, except for about 2 children, and they don't like dressing, period. I told them they wasn't even Southern if they didn't like dressing in sweet tea. Then you put it together like this. This is so quick, y'all, and easy. And what I do is I cut mine in half, and then pile it back up there again, and this really cuts your time in half. And so then I just start cutting this little bitty pieces, and it's fast, it's easy. I just kind of do my knife like that, and you've got little bitty pieces. And all this is going to be boiled. And that broth that is in this, that is going to be put in your cornbread mixture for your dressing. It smells so good in the kitchen on Thanksgiving morning when you're doing this last minute stuff like this. Okay, I think that's about enough. We cut these 2 little pieces up. That's kind of big. We don't want anybody coming with that, do we? Okay, you put this in your pot now. That 1 pan of cornbread that I cooked yesterday, you might think, well, this isn't going to make much dressing, but it actually will. All right, and here is, I'm going to put 2 onions. So I'm putting 1 whole thing of celery and 2 onions. Sometimes I put 3, but these were really big onions, so I'm just gonna cut me some little tiny half moons here. And then I am going to cut it the other way. Shouldn't take you long to do this. Remember, if your main thing to learn in the kitchen is you have to be able to use a good sharp knife. If you don't, you are going to be in the kitchen forever. You just don't need to be afraid of your knife. You need to get in there and learn how to use it. So, I've got 2 onions, a whole thing of celery. Look in there. See how pretty? And I'm going to put in 1 stick of butter. I'm going to cover it with water. I don't want too much water. And I'm going to boil it just till the celery gets tender. When the celery gets tender, the onion automatically will be. And all of this is going to be put into my cornbread. Let's see. All right, that's enough water. So here we go. And I'm fixed to turn it on high. Now, this part right here, that was the end of the celery. And I save it on Thanksgiving because I'm going to decorate with it. I think, you know, they say presentation, so I'm going to do some presenting. All right, I'm going to put this on and I'll see you a little bit. All right, y'all, the turkey was done. So here is the broth off of the turkey. That's what I make my dressing with. I like turkey broth. So, you know, we made our cornbread yesterday and we crumbled it up extra fine. I put some saran wrap over it so that it would stay moist. And there it is. So first of all, I'm going to put my cornbread in there. All right, that's all you do. Let me crumble it up a little, make sure it's all crumbly. See how it looks? You don't want any big knots in it. You want everything just crumbled up real little because that'll make it gummy, okay? Then what you do is you take regular white bread. Long time ago they'd use biscuits and everything else. And you want to just tear it gently to go in here. I'm not gonna put that crust. You don't pinch it because, you know, bread is gummy, and so you want to just kind of tear it like that and just put it in like this. Just kind of gently. It doesn't have to be real small, but just kind of like that, okay? You put it on the top, and you do not mix it in. You do not mix it in. You can come by, hon, if you need to. So just do like that and just put all that little bread in there. Try not to mash it hard while you're doing it. You want it to be light and airy. All right, what I did is I got out 12 pieces. I don't know that I'm going to use 12 pieces, but that's how many I got out. And you just put this in. And do not stir it up. And I'll show you why in a minute. I used to make this for Crossover Ministries here in for their banquet and everything, and so made a big old pan of that. We cooked for, I think it was like maybe 150 people, and it took a long time to make that much dressing. I made 4 huge pans. I figured each pan would serve about 50 people, so I had fixed for about 200 and also anyway. All right, see how I'm just kind of doing that off like this. And you can put the crust in it too. It doesn't hurt it. Oh, and by the way, something else I want to tell you. Do not buy fresh bread. I bought this last week because you want your bread to be a little bit on the stale side. And the reason is, if it's too fresh, when you're pinching it off like this, it'll gum up. All right, here's our last 2 pieces, and I'm going to make a judgment call and see how that'll work in a minute. I think people in the north, don't y'all use stuffing? I don't know how to do stuffing because I've never been up north. I went to Ohio once on an antique shopping trip, but that's as far north as I've ever gotten. So I'm just southern all the way down here. I don't know how to do stuffing. I don't even know what's in stuffing. Maybe y'all can write and tell me. I think I need another couple of pieces. Let me get 2 more. That just doesn't look wide enough. You know, I made that one big old pan of cornbread. All right, let's get these two, and I think that's going to be a plenty. But anyway, my grandmother years ago made something out of duck. It was called frocking, and it had tomatoes in it. And the only time I've ever tasted it was when I was a little girl, and I hated it. I thought it was awful. Now, since I'm grown up, I may like it, but I sure didn't like it then when she put frocking on the table. All right, there that is. Now I'm going to take these onions and celery that I told you I was going to boil ahead of time. It had a stick of butter in it. I'm going to put that all over the top, and I'm going to try to put a little bit on each of these little bread things. See, this is growing. It's getting bigger and bigger. I don't even know if it's going to fit in my pan. But if it doesn't, this freezes well. It freezes real good. All right, you do that. Now I'm going to take some, let me do this next. I'll use this. I'm going to take my turkey broth. There's some fat and different things that came off as we moved the turkey, and I don't want it. So what I'm going to do is just strain it through here and put my turkey broth on there. All the way around, get all your little bread wet. We give that to the dog. They need something for Thanksgiving too, don't they? All right, let me spread it around to make sure that that bread gets a little bit on everything. Next, I am going to put in 1 can of cream of chicken soup. This is that larger can. It is 22 ounces. I may use 2, but right now I'm going to start with 1 because I just don't know, if I need to or not. I'm going to taste it. That onions though and celery, that makes it. It makes it really good. I've got a couple of grandchildren that don't like it, and then I've got some that do. William walked by a while ago. He loves it. He can't wait to eat it. Okay, now then I'm going to spread that around. All right, now I'm going to toss it. And this is going to let me know whether I need more of anything. Okay, now I'm going to feel it. All right, now when you get that on there, what you do is you put your hand in it and you squash it because you want to make, so it can't be real hot. And you want to make sure that all that little bread in there is done up. You do it just like you would flour.
Like you do in your biscuits.
Yeah, like you do in your biscuits, Anna makes dressing too. All my babies make dressing. There's a big old celery. We're going to get that out of there. I must have missed him when I was cutting up. See that bread, how it just smushes right in your hand? When you get that red, you want that bread to be just smushed up in there. You do not put any more eggs. You know, I put 4 or 5 eggs in that cornbread. So basically, everything in this dressing is already done. The eggs are done. The onions and celery are done. The turkey broth's done. Everything's done. So just squash around a while. And then, if I don't like sage in mine, but if y'all do, this is the time to put you in a little sage or a little salt if you need it. Okay, I'm going to taste this now. Let me wash my hand off. Boy, this sink's a mess. We've been washing dishes all morning, haven't we, Anna?
Yes.
And we clean up one thing and start another. I'm telling you. We need some full-time care over here. Let me just see. We'll get a little bit. I'm going to put in a little bit more soup. Where's my spoon I did that with? I'll just...
Well, there's the spatula.
Oh, there's the spatula. Okay, here, we'll do that. I'm going to put in half of this can. And that's going to be all. I think that the salt content seemed like it was good. All right, we've greased this pan right here. It is a white metal
Enamel.
enamel pan. And I'm fixed to put it in it. And I'm going to use my hand as a spatula. You'll see how that works. Pour it in. Take the back of your hand and rake your bowl out. And then we're going to spread it out. And we're going to cook it on about 375, 400 or whatever, till it kind of sets up a little bit. It starts bubbling a little bit. Sometimes it'll get a little bit of brown around the edges. And that's it. Isn't that pretty?
Did you tell them they could freeze it in a bag or in a pan?
No, I didn't. Let me tell them that. If you have any left over, or even if you only want to cook half of this and then save the other half for later for Christmas or something like that. So what you're going to do is put it in a bag and put it in the refrigerator, or you can put it in a casserole dish, cover it real good, and it'll be ready to pop in an oven. I've seen my mother freeze it like the leftover, like if you have a bunch leftover and you want to freeze it, and when she got it out, sometimes she'd put like 1 can of cream of chicken soup in it and rework it a little bit and then do it. So either way, it's going to be good. All right.